Welcome back. Well, if I told you that all it takes to own a home are 7 simple steps, would you believe me? Well, don't take my word for it. Take it from someone who calls himself America's real estate mentor, Sherman Ragland. Sherman, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Alex.
It's a pleasure. So I guess we should start off a little bit broad. What's your opinion on why it's so important for people to own their own home?
So the U.S. Federal Reserve tells us that people who own their own home are 36 times richer than people who rent. In fact, there was a recent article in Forbes magazine where the National Association of Realtors stated that the wealth gap, and that's what they're calling it now, the gap between those who own and those who rent, is getting wider faster than at any time in this country's history. Now, I've spent the last 30 plus years researching and answering this question, what does it take to get rich in America? And I can tell you the proof is overwhelming that real estate is the cornerstone of wealth creation. It is more powerful than investing in the stock market. It is more powerful than your 401k program. It is more powerful and certainly a lot more stable than investing in something like Bitcoin.
Well, certainly, and there's a lot of hurdles that people have to overcome in home ownership. One of those being a down payment. Some people, sometimes can't come up with the money in order to even get started owning a home. So what kind of things are out there to sort of help people with this?
So in the book, I talk about 7 simple steps to getting your own home or getting your first home for some people. And what you're asking me about is really sort of step number 3. So can we just go through the 7 steps? Great. So step number 1, and I want us to put on our thinking caps. So let's put on our thinking caps, right?
You brought some nice props here.
So let's put on our thinking caps. Now let's think about this. Yeah, it will. Actually, tell you what, let me use our thinking cap for a second.
Okay.
Right? We'll get you all lit up.
Yeah.
Boom, there you go.
All
right.
Nice. I want to be the same as you.
Thank you, sir. So think about this. Like right now in Tucson, rent for an apartment on average is $1,150 a month.
Right.
That's $1,150 a month. Now, one of the things I talk about in the book is different resources. If you go to a resource called Bankrate and you type in Tucson and $1,150 a month, what you would find out is you would qualify for most people for a mortgage of $238,000.
Wow.
So think about this. Rent an apartment or get yourself a nice 4-bedroom house and have your kids go to the Vail school system.
What's a no-brainer?
It's a no-brainer, exactly. So step number 1, we got to think about it, we got to decide. All right. Step number 2, getting towards what you're asking me, a lot of people get hung up on where am I going to get the money? They're like, gee, I don't have any money in my wallet, I don't have any money in my bank account. Where am I going to get this money? What a lot of people don't realize is there's an entire industry that's designed just to get you the money. Say it with me, Alex. Get me the money.
Get me the money.
Get me the money.
Get me the money, baby.
Get me the money, baby. So it's a whole industry. So let's try this. For your viewers, next time you go to the bank, don't go through the drive-through and go to the ATM. Stop the car. Get out. Go inside. Meet the branch manager. Go in and say, hey, I've been a client here, a customer here for X number of years. I want to buy my own home. Is there anybody here who can help me buy my own home and get me a mortgage? Trust me, they're going to treat you like royalty.
Right.
And if they don't, just go on down the street to the local credit union because they are in the business of getting you money to buy your first home or buy your next home. And so to a large degree, they'll even work with people who've got challenge credit to help them get into their first home. Now the third step that I talk about in the book is what I call first-time home buyer assistance, which gets exactly to the question that you asked. First-time home buyer assistance. And you guys are really fortunate here in Tucson because your mayor, Mayor Rothschild, he is really big on home ownership. And so he has a lot of programs out there that are coming out of the mayor's office to help people find these resources. I think a lot of your viewers would be shocked to find out that if they're a teacher or a firefighter or a police officer or even a first-time home buyer or a vet, they can get up to 100% of the financing that they need in terms of the down payment. So they literally could get into a house, nothing down.
Incredible.
Exactly. So step number 4, and this is sort of the dirty little secret of real estate, okay? So everybody knows when a house gets sold, there's a real estate agent involved. But the truth of the matter is there's 2 real estate agents involved. There's a real estate agent who represents the seller, and there's a real estate agent that represents the buyer. But the real estate agent that represents the buyer is paid for by the seller. It comes off the seller's profit. A lot of people don't realize that. So rather than just getting any old real estate agent, do your homework, do your research, get an agent who's a champion. Somebody's going to get in there and fight to get you the best deal, right?
Very good.
So step number 5, and this is one of my favorite steps. It's what I call going shopping, right? Now, in the old days, what would happen is you would get with a real estate agent and they would drive you all over town showing you different properties. We don't do that anymore. That's so old-fashioned, right? What the real estate agent, your champion, will do for you is set you up and give you access to something called the MLS. Now, the MLS is basically where it's the great supermarket of real estate deals. Today, they'll literally give you an app that you can use on your phone. You push a button and you can see all the properties that are available in any particular neighborhood. Push another button, you get an actual virtual virtual tour, and today we even have drone flyovers over the properties. Push another button, you say, hey honey, what do you think about this one? Push another button and it sends a message to your champion real estate agent that says, hey, I'm coming back from DC, I'm on a plane, we land at 4:30, can you show me this property at 6 o'clock? Boom! It is so cool what we can do today with technology, what we can do when you get the right real estate agent, the champion working for you. Now, step number 6, excuse me, once you find the property that you really, really love, you basically say to your real estate agent, hey, give me here's my wish list of everything I want to see happen on that property. Just give it to them. And what you want them to do is really get in there and hammer out the best deal possible, okay? So it's really, really that simple. And of course, the last step, the 7th step, is when everything's all settled, everything's ready to go, you're going to get a phone call and you and your agent are going to go to something called the settlement, where you sign a couple pieces of paper and the bank wires the money to the seller, and then you, my friend, get the keys to your kingdom. The sweet part. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. Boom.
Sherman,
exactly.
You really have a great way of illustrating this. People don't have to have an MBA. They don't have to be rocket scientists in order to be able to have their own home. If you really break it down, it's very simple. And I'm going to let people know how they can get your book in order to learn all of these things. But you've already taught us so much today. It's really going to be helpful for people. So Sherman, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Now, 7 Simple Steps to Getting Your Own Home is available now, and you can get a free copy if you just promise to leave a review on Amazon. All you have to do is visit 7stepstogettingyourownhome.com for more information.